Hello everyone, this is Ross. Ross actually rode one of our built Vespa PX across the world to Pakistan, India, Kathmandu, all the way from London, and on the way all the way down to Australia, and then in Australia went across from Melbourne all the way across to the other side of Australia to Perth. So it's about Ross's adventure, catching up now that he's back in the UK, and just to see how the biking himself went. Where you go, Ross? Tell us what happened.
So left this time last year, the start of March. It was snowing when I left. I got down to Southampton to go to Spain, and it was freezing. I was delighted to be leaving, you know. And then I got to Spain and it was pretty cold. Went through Europe, kind of hopping on ferries as well. Get through quick during the winter. And
so where's that trip then? Down to Spain,
so
cross Spain?
Spain, then
Italy.
Across a ferry from Barcelona to Italy above Rome. Down that whole coast of Italy, and then across to Brindisi.
Began to warm up a bit.
And it got a bit warmer as I got down to, you know, the south of Italy, down to Pompeii and Naples and stuff. Oh. And then across to Greece. And by the time I got to Greece, it was getting a bit warmer, but, you know, it was still kind of winter. So I was camping, but it was very windy. But it was getting good, you know. You're on the Mediterranean then, and it's starting to warm up. And then
when you were going along, was there any trouble with the bike along the way in any way?
No, not. Well, I was racing for a ferry to get to Barcelona, and I got a puncture, but that was all good. You know?
That's it, a puncture the whole trip.
In Europe, that was it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And then it topped up the oil along the way, and just kept the tire pressures good, and that was it for Europe.
Standard PX150 we did. We had obviously made modifications throughout.
Custom for the job, yeah.
Very standard, reliable little motor.
Yeah.
Framework was crash bars and carriers, and we made this extra strong stand, and then we had
the T5 handlebars. And
the handlebars of the T5. They were a particular modification in that if you had a crash, that when you went down again, because he already had a crash and snapped his PX handlebars. If you had a crash again, the metal handlebar of a T5 can take the brunt of the crash, and that it bend a little, but it wouldn't smash, and then it would render him like unable to travel any further on that trip. So that, and well, you had LED lights, which was handy, I'm sure.
Yeah, the spotlights and the seat, the Spanish post seat was amazing, and the racks.
They're very comfortable, yeah.
The American rear rack.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, the LED lights and the spotlights.
So this all came in useful, and
yeah. Well, this was what
the modifications that you got on it were needed. It helped.
Yeah, and it was what we spoke about a lot, like in the build up. Like
I wanted to build a bike that was really tough and robust for the trip. It'd make the trip.
Yeah. Well, you've done it as well. I wouldn't have been doing it without you.
Well, this is the thing. What I liked was when you reached Kathmandu, or you were on the outskirts of Kathmandu, you actually took a photograph of the same spot, the same actual. It was
same road sign.
A stone road sign that said Kathmandu 72 kilometers, and I have a photograph of me 30 years previous on the trip I did to Kathmandu, same age as you, same on a Vespa Bajaj that I had, and I stopped at that road sign, took the photograph. That photograph, you said, sort of inspired you to do the sort of similar trip.
Well, yeah,
And as you were tell the story, as you were coming into Kathmandu, you seen it, or you?
Well, yeah, that photo inspired the whole trip, because I seen it in your book, and I came into you the next day and said, "What's this?" And you said, "Oh, that was India in the 90s and traveling," and you said, "Let's build one after lockdown." And then
that's right.
We did it. It wasn't just getting drunk at a barbecue.
No, you put your.
But then, as I was coming to Kathmandu after 4 months, I seen a road sign 10 kilometers before, and kept an eye out and found the one that
and there it was,
inspired the trip.
The very same one. You'd done the same pose, and the same background, and obviously it's all the same setup. That was it. That was
That
fun.
was the.
You'll
that was,
see that. You'll see that when
Yeah,
you
that was
come
the
in.
cherry on top. That was the end of the trip. It was like.
So you didn't leave the bike behind. So you didn't.
No. So when I got to Kathmandu, we shipped it out to Australia, and then I flew out to Oz, and then after months in quarantine, the bike eventually got out after 3 months, and then rode to Perth from Melbourne
Yeah.
to do the national.
How far is
rally.
that?
We did the whole South Australian coast, and then went into WA, and it was
That's a lot.
4,500 kilometers.
The infamous Nullarbor, the 90-mile
90
straight.
miles
Yeah.
and then went racing for the kind of racing for the Millet.
Yeah.
And
Round
yeah,
Perth.
that was roughly.
So where is the bike now, and what's going to happen to it?
So the bike's on the way back to the UK, and I just got here, and it'll be here in about 7 weeks.
That's right.
Probably on display here.
We will be getting the bike back into the shop. It'll go on our display here, and we'll have
Pictures and
pictures,
memorabilia
maps, or
and
whatever on
everything from
on
the
display.
trip.
So we'll be able to show it
Yeah.
off, and you can come and visit it.
It's great to
And
see
Ross,
you
if he's
again.
around.
And thanks a lot.
Well done. Did what you said you do.
So look what I found. Same sign, same place that Niall was 30 years ago.